Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sonali and I welcome you all to CSC Core Concepts in the series of Foundations of Compiler Construction. In this video, we are going to continue discussing about syntax directed translation, which we have already started in my previous video. So I suggest you to go through the previous video to understand the basics of SDT, that is syntax directed translation, so that you can further understand about it in detail. Now, SDT can be performed in any one of the approaches, top-down or bottom-up. See, here it does not matter much whether you are following a top-down or a bottom-up approach, because what matters most in case of SDT is the output. So you can use any one of the approach without changing the semantics. So let us consider this grammar with the rules. So this is the grammar. S takes the form AS, S takes the form AB, A is A, B is BC, B is DB, C is C. Okay. Now, with every rule, there is some command given. Okay, that is, if when this rule will be executed, so 1 will be printed. Okay, this way. So when second rule will be executed, 2 will be printed and so on. And every rule has been given a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, one thing we already studied, that the input to this is semantic analysis is a parse tree which is generated. Okay, and what we need to do is that we have to create a annotated parse tree, that is parse tree along with some grammar rules or comments, right? Now we have to create a parse tree using a top-down approach. See, you can use any approach unless otherwise specified. Here, since it is specified that you have to use a top-down approach, so you can create the parse tree using the top-down approach for the string AADBC. So from using this grammar, I have to derive this string. So the first element of my string is that I want a small a. So where can I get a small a? I can get a small a from capital A, fine. But how can I get a capital A, which I will have to start with the start symbol. So let us get started with the start symbol, that is AS takes the form AS, and the third element here, this is an annotated parse tree. So the third element which I am adding is 1, that means the rule number 1. Now I want to derive small a from capital A, so I can get it capital A, and when we print, that means this rule is applied A to A. So what is the rule? Rule number 3. So for that I have written rule number 3. Okay. Now the next element of the string is small a. So this part is over. Okay. Now from this S, again I have to derive small a. So again I will be using the next rule. I can use the next rule because here also AB is there. So I can use AB because later part I have DBC, right? So of course I require B. I cannot again go with A and S. So A, B and rule number 2. Now this A, if I further explore, I will get a rule number 3, that is A takes the form small a. Now the next element in my string is D, small d. So how can I derive small d from capital B? Yes, using this rule, right? See, B has 2 rules, but I will be using the second one since I want the terminal D. So let's explore D. B takes the form DB, that is rule number 5. Okay. Now A is done, D is done. So next element is B. I have to derive it from capital B. Using this rule I can derive small b. So B, C and the rule is rule 4. Now B is done and the last element of my string is C. So from C I can get C and the rule is 6. Right. Now I want to see the output. So for output you can traverse in the same way as the top-down approach. So let's start with the left terminal. So left terminal A is there. So we come here. You have to apply rule 3. What does rule 3 says? Let's check out. Print 3. The first element which will be printed is 3. Now, no more elements are there on this side. So we will go back here to this element, right? Now from here again we will come to the left side. Again its left side is capital A, which derives small a, and it applies rule 3. So a next 3 is printed. Now again go back here, okay, to B, because we have not explored B. So let's go back to B. So on the B, we come to this D side. But here there is no specific rule and it cannot be applied. This rule number 5 cannot be applied on only D because we have to use it on DB collectively, right? So since we are here on D, we have not yet traversed capital B. So I cannot apply that. Understood? I cannot apply that. So although I will move here, okay, I will go back to D, fine, but I will have to go back to B again. From B, I have to come to your C, right? I have to come to C. From C, B takes the form B and C. B is there. For B, which rule can apply? Now, only for B, I cannot apply 4. I can apply 4 for B and C. C has not yet been traversed. So again, go back and traverse C first. Okay, now when your C is traversed, it applies rule 6. What is rule 6? You can apply? Yes, because C has nobody else, right? So 6 can be applied. So go back. Now since this is traversed, B had already been traversed. Now I can apply rule 4. What does rule 4 says? Print 4. Again go back, go up. So B has been now explored. We could not implement this rule because that time D was explored, B was not explored. But now it has been. So we can apply rule 5 which says print 5. Again go up. So this is explored. So now I can apply rule 2. Okay, this is done. And again I can go up and I can apply rule 1. So this is my output. Understood? How to traverse. Now if you are doing bottom up, this was your top down parsing, right? Now you can go for bottom up. But in case of bottom up, you will work on reduction, right? You will create the parse tree using bottom up. But the traversal for generating the output will be same as that of top down. Okay. So here in bottom up, the same figure if I take, so I will reduce. What we do in bottom up is that this we derive this, right? We reduce to capital C. These two elements are there. We write bottom up like this, right? DB is there. We reduce it to capital B, right? Then capital B is there. We will reduce it to something. That way we do, right? So here also what we will do, C will get reduced to C. B and C will combine to form capital B. D and capital B will reduce to form capital B. A will reduce to form capital A. A and B will reduce to form S. And again A will be reduced to form S, right? So all the rules I have applied, but I traversed in a bottom up manner. But here you can see A reduced to capital A. So can now, but printing output will be same because you are going to traverse in the top down approach. So A has been reduced to capital A. So you first print 3. Second, again this A is, you traverse, come this side on the you come on this element, you come here. So A is getting reduced to capital A, again print 3. Now B has not yet been traversed, so DB you cannot consider. Understood? So what you have to do, you have to go downwards till here. Okay, so for C you can print C. Then when you come up, B and C as traversed, so which is rule to B and C is print 4. Now since this B is traversed, D and B will give you print 5. Okay, D and B will give you print 5. And then A and B will give you print 2. Understood? And this is your output. And then A and S will give you to 1. So this is your output. So there also we have not entered our 1. So here also yes, I have shown you till 1, right? So this is what your bottom up, top down, anything. The parse tree can be generated anyway. It does not matter. Understood? But the evaluation will be done in the top down manner. And how to evaluate? When you have a writer branch which has not yet been evaluated. See, here it does not have anything, right? Only this rule was there, A to A. So it has done. Here also same. But in this case, this D, B both together form this B. So unless I explore this B, I cannot execute the rule. Same thing, B and C both together form capital B. So unless I explore C, I cannot apply the rule. So let us evaluate another arithmetic expression. So create a parse tree corresponding to this input string. So this is our grammar, right? E is E and T. So and is equal to multiplication. At the rate is equal to subtraction here. So T takes the form T at the rate F or F, and F is number. This is the rule. Okay. And these are the this is the grammar and these are the rules. Now let us understand the priority. Whose priority is less? The operator who is far away from the start symbol. Who is the start symbol? E is the start symbol. So I have two operators, ampersand and at the rate. So at the rate is far away. So we are going to start the parse tree like this. We will create brackets around this. Understood? So now you can break them into two parts, right? Because you have to start with the start symbol and we have E to E and T. So we are starting with the start symbol with E, E and T. Done? Now on this side you can say this is how you broke it. This is one side, this is one side. Now on this side again you have another ampersand, right? So what you can do is that E, again you can expand it to E and T. Now E can take the form, okay, E can take the form of T. T can take the form F from the grammar, and F is a number because ultimately you have to find out the solution. Similarly here for T, this T you can again, because you have this equation in between, right? So T ampersand F. So T to F, F to number and F to number. Again on this side also you have this at the rate. So T to at the rate F, T to F, F to number. Okay. Now at the number places you can simply put the digits 1, 4, 8, 5, 7, 3. Whatever are given. Now let us go bottom up, right? 4 number gets reduced to F, same value. F gets reduced to T, same value. T gets reduced to E, so same 4. But here it will be 4 because there is some operation. So let us find out this value first to perform this operation. So this is your 8. Okay, 8 will get reduced to F8. F reduced to T8. Here the value cannot be 8 because this value depends on this operation. So let us come here. 5. 5 reduced to 5. Yeah. Now you can perform. Now at the rate is what? Subtraction. So 8 minus 5 is 3. So this T is 3. So when you got these 3, this is you wanted, it was there 4. So 4 multiplied by 3, since ampersand is a multiplication. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. So you can say here you can have 12 as the value, right? Now let's come on this side. 7 number reduced to F, this is 7. 7 will be here also 7. Okay. Here number reduced to F is 3. So 7 minus 3 is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. This is 7 minus 3, 4. Now let us perform these two operations. 12 multiplied by 4 is 48. Okay. So this is how you can perform the SDT. Right. So what we have done, we can first create the parse tree. So to generate the parse tree, you can break it based on the priority and you can navigate in this way. So I hope you understood SDT, and in my next video we are going to discuss some more concepts about SDT. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe and stay tuned to CSE Core Concepts. Thank you.